Okay, so before we infer to the title, let's go ahead to infer on me, on how I'm doing. So everyone, there's been some people who has been subscribing to my channel and that have been waiting for me to make a new video about the other Need for Speed game. I plan to make a video on Need for Speed Payback, and I'm still trying to put up with that promise. I'm going to continue to fulfill my promise. However, I need you to understand this real well, real clearly as to what is happening. So what I didn't tell you on community is that I was sick with type B influenza, or I should just simply say the flu, in other words. The medical condition alone made me feel like it impacted my whole entire life. Going from feeling that I want to continue making videos, whatever ones that may come to the future, to going straight forward to not having enough energy to me making these videos, plus dealing with the fact that I gotta go to work at the same time. Even though I'm not in college just for the summer, it still doesn't change the fact. The thing is though, I do want to do these videos. I still want to, but the problem is I won't feel the same way as I once was from the previous ones I made. But even at that, let's go ahead and get into the video. I should mention that I've been playing War Thunder since 2017. Although I wasn't really much of a big fan of the game myself, it was kind of enjoyable at some certain degrees I did not anticipate. If you happen to play War Thunder, but if you haven't happened to hear the news, let me break it down to you real quickly. So earlier, as of this May, there was some game-changing updates that was going to happen between Gaijin and War Thunder. Supposedly Gaijin wanted to make an economy change towards the game in general. From a player standpoint, from any random player that has been playing this game for a very long while, the best assumption they have in mind is the fact that Gaijin is planning to reduce the reward system in regards to both the Silver Alliance and even research points. And although this happened a few times underneath the regard of the players figuring out one way or another, or just not noticing it was right underneath their nose, Gaijin had been getting away with it previously. However, this time of year and month had changed. It got to the point where the War Thunder community player base has been getting mad about this kind of change, and that they don't want it to happen. In fact, they wanted the economy to change to make it better, not worse. However, Gaijin felt butthurt about this, and they decided to take this on to the fans, saying that this will ruin this game. We're planning to make it better. In other words, they're practically trying to say they're not greedy. So in my regard, if I have to say this, since you're trying to reduce the reward system, you're basically becoming greedy at one certain degree, even if you don't want to try to admit it. I mean, let's be real, Gaijin. You have gold, an in-game purchase in general. You know what seems to happen to players when they can't participate in any kind of tournaments to earn gold? That's if gold is anything in regards to a reward inside of tournaments or whatever. Players buy the golden eagles in order to buy new vehicles or even the battle passes, and even to buy some premium for their account, and to try to boost research, since you made the research system, much like the silver earning system, a grindy shitfest for every single player depending on which vehicle they drive. That's in regards to military armored vehicles or even tanks, to airplanes, maybe even jets, to full-on battleships, to cruisers. Anyways, the situation kept on dragging on, and there was at one certain degree that players decided to go out the way and decides to negative review bomb the whole entire game until the economy system was actually fixed. However, it was noted within the news on May 23rd, that was a few days ago, that an economy revision was going to occur. So without further ado, let's get to reading. Dear players, firstly, we would like to extend our sincerest apologies to each and every single one of you. We deeply regret the fact that our actions have let you down and that we have failed to adequately address the concerns you have voiced over the time. or you have fallen into deaf ears without even noticing for a single moment. Fact number 1 being like Rockstar Games doesn't happen to know how to make a perfectly functional tech support in general for this game. Or number 2, you've yet to understand what criticism is, and even if you did understand what it is, you're not taking it properly. We share your passion for the game, and it pains us that our decisions have not lived up to your expectations. Over the last week, we've been diligently analyzing the feedback you provided. We acknowledged and agreed with your concerns regarding the balance of the economy, such as silver lions and research points, as well as modification research. We have therefore prioritized addressing these issues as our immediate concern. A video game's economy is every single concern a video game development company has to focus on. When I played World of Tanks Blitz on mobile, there was nearly an economy drop within each and every single vehicle I drive inside of that game. It got to a point where I was losing silver coins over and over again, and I'm not getting anywhere near earning them at all. So I just ended up giving up on the game. I was actually good at the game, but you know, every single player has their ups and downs. A few months ago, before the whole entire economy dropped, I feel like the whole entire earning silver system was actually decent enough for their own time. And that's not only on how much you play the game and how good you actually get, but yet nearly each and every single player had once said each and every single time you decide to add a new premium vehicle or you decide to add a new nation into this game, the economy begins to drop to become a little bit more turmoil, like the Great Depression all the way back in the 20s and the 30s era. The thing is, we're not at that timeline. We're in the 21st century, and there should be a good game for each and every single one of us to play. If anything, you guys should be just firing greedy douchebags who are just dropping the economy on purpose. Over the past week, we've been diligently analyzing the feedback you provided. We acknowledge and agree with your concerns regarding the balance of the economy, such as silver lions and research points, as well as modification research. We have, therefore, prioritized addressing these issues as our immediate concern. I mean, it's about time something like this becomes the focus, or so to think. There are multiple suspicions that I have about this that kinda just pops into my mind. First one's gonna be that Gaijin makes it better, but then in a little while later on in the future, they're gonna make it worse, without us even knowing. Even if we did know, it would take us a very long while to figure that out. Or this news wiring post is actually fake. I don't really know. Those are just a few theories I could think of. I mean, let's be real. One way or another, even if we expect it or don't expect it, Gaijin's gonna try to secretly, maybe, try to ruin the economy one way or another. I mean, shit. They tried doing it right now, and I feel like they have been doing it previously back then before this news wiring post. We are in the process of creating a plan to tackle these problems. While we have made some initial progress in the understanding of the scope of these issues and potential solutions, we anticipate providing a more detailed roadmap by the 14th of June. Well, as someone who has an interest of wanting to improve the economy for this game, let me help you out with that. Solution number 1 is to reduce or even remove the repair costs of each and every single vehicle you drive inside of this game, whether it's on ground forces, battleships, or even airplanes. This is simply said enough. If you don't have any alternate solution to try to fix this whole entire silver lions and research points issue, and if anything, it's a heavy barrier of trying to gain good silver lions overall. I mean, I get the idea from a perspective that you're saying repairs don't cost free in the real world, but that aspect doesn't need to be taken into consideration into video games like all the time. I'm just saying. Number 2, letting us use whatever research points we've gained extra. Much like World of Tanks, each and every single vehicle you gain some experience points, but then at the same time you also gain in general experience points, which allows you to research any modification or any vehicle inside of that game. That's at least one of the things I should be able to do if I have a lot of points. Looking at my research points, I have 1,624,200 169 points. And I want to use the convertible RP to boost the research of every single vehicle that I'm currently researching. But legitimately I can't do that because there's a paywall of golden eagles that I need to pay in order to convert the RP. For the conversions, there's only at least 2 solutions that I could think of in regards to this. And this is being said because players don't really want to spend their money just to buy gold to boost research when they could buy premium tanks or the battle pass or some shit like that all the time. Number 1, change the conversion costs from being golden eagles to silver lion, because at some certain degree it might be a little bit more easier for the players to actually be able to use the convertible RP to be able to research any other tank within any tech tree line in regards to light tanks, medium tanks, heavy tanks, tank destroyers, and anti-aircraft, to airplanes, to bombers, to jets, to fighters, whatever. I mean, yeah, sure, it's not in your favor as to players needing to progress through the whole entire game, but considering how this game is already a grindy shitfest and you intend to make it even more worse than it is, this is one of the fewest options. Or option number 2, go buy World of Tanks as textbook example and don't make it cost anything at all. This could really help players go through the basis of the game to research any vehicle they like, from a KV-2 to the T-95 tank, or even the Tiger 2, whichever tank they're going for the best. Because again, this game is a grindy shitfest, and not a lot of players have a lot of time to be grinding through this damn game to be researching any or even every single vehicle they want the most. That also includes me, because I'm still experiencing real life, not just YouTube. This is all I could simply think of if you can't seem to, be able to fix the whole entire Silver Lions or research points issue, because much like how you said once before, you can't give player everything at once because it will overwhelm and make the game very difficult for them, and they'll just leave it either immediately or almost immediately. This type of grindy, crusty crap fuckery is what makes this game more difficult. It makes it overwhelming for us to be able to play through this game and just to try to get whatever vehicles we want the most. Decompressing battle rates. Okay, over-compressed battle rates is what a lot of players have been having as an issue. A few YouTubers were talking about this over and over again as well. And believe me when I say this, Gaijin, that this probably, I don't know if it does have any effect in regards to the economy, but it is completely ridiculous at some certain degree, where I can't even earn a single kill, let alone a few thousand silver lions. I don't know if this is accurate enough, but then again, I'm a ground forces player, and I'm playing inside of a Tiger E. And I come across a player who is in a 4th rank vehicle like the T-92 or a Waffentrager, and he shoots me from a long distance and he ends up killing me. That's outclassing. And this happens every so often. Much like any other player out there, I hate being outclassed. I can't do shit against a Waffentrager or an M56 Scorpion that's sniping me from a distance, or even a Tiger 2 at close ranges. And that being said, when I'm driving a Tiger 1E and I'm using PZGR39, which has a more chance of not being able to ricochet and it also being able to insta-kill any target. Of course, there is some people that will say that there's PZGR40, which is APCR. It increases your penetration, but it can't do shit against a Tiger 2 if it's a PZGR40 and if it's angled, because it's most likely going to ricochet off of that tank. And that its damage type is not the exact same thing as PZGR39, which is able to destroy a lot of things or cause a lot of injuries inside of one vehicle, or mainly even insta-kill your targets. But with that being said, battle rating, players with a higher ranked vehicle is going to have a better chance at being able to destroy my vehicle. And to be honest, the grind is bad when you're in an outclassed match. And if the economy nerf update were to take place, the grind would be way more worse than it is. Now with that being set aside, premium accounts. What is there for me to say about premium accounts? As a player who has played a few free-to-play games that isn't really Team Fortress 2, premium accounts are basically an upgraded status of your original account overall, which will enable you to gain more points in regards to research or experience, and more currency such as silver lions or just silver coins. And functioning like Nintendo Online Service or even Xbox Live, premium accounts are basically online service inside of War Thunder as well. Unfortunately, as a player who plays this game without buying premium that much or that much often, so there is a small little problem in regards to the difference of the freemium players to the premium players. And when I mean a small problem, I mean a very massive problem. And this is being said in ground forces because not only you encounter a veteran player, but yet at the same time that veteran player has a premium account, which usually gets annoying most of the time. And they have every single advantage they could possibly can against a player that doesn't even have premium to begin with. But there is one single thing that I could think of that probably could be a solution, and that is how many maps you should play. The way I see it for these premium/veteran players is the fact that they want to go through a competitive experience. Not only that the balance of matchmaking should happen for the freemium and premium players, but also the reduction of maps that premium players could play inside of. This should help us, the players with free accounts that don't have premium, be able to go through the progress of War Thunder without having to deal with such struggle against premium players all the time. Some of you may say that premium players are not part of the economy. Well, guess what? They are. What you do have to understand is the premium accounts are able to gain more silver lions and research points than an average free-to-play player without premium. And the premium status is way unbalanced in the matchmaking of this game. Not only on the reduction of maps that premium players should be able to play inside this game, but also the decompression of matchmaking overall in regards to battle rates. Because let's be real, much like every single other player that doesn't have a premium account, I want to be able to research my vehicles much more efficiently. I want to be able to gain more silver lions, but I can't do that because of these premium players coming up with their bullshit, such as airplanes, because they can't fucking play Ace Combat or they can't buy that shit. Two vehicles that requires gold for you to actually be able to drive these vehicles, which give you some stupid advantages that shouldn't exist. However, if you do manage to find a way to increase the reward system for the silver lions and research points within the battles inside of this game, then all should be good for most of us as far as I am concerned. But if anything, I do wish you take these suggestions into consideration because it has to benefit the player one way or another. And for the previous few years after the release of the game, from update to update, you really made it certain that it wouldn't benefit the player one way or another. Anyways, to wrap up on this news post, we understand the urgency that you feel for the changes to be implemented, and we assure you, we share your eagerness. However, given the scale and complexity of a project like War Thunder, some time is required to ensure that any changes we make are both effective and beneficial to the player experience. We're also continually reviewing the vast array of our feedback and suggestions we receive. Rest assured, these are important to us and will be addressed at the moment. Our first priority remains the game's economics and progression. We are truly sorry for the disappointment and frustration that we have caused. We want to commit to you that we are doing everything we can to improve the game and regain your trust. Thank you all for your understanding and patience during this time. We valued your continued support and your dedication to the game we all love. Yeah, this all sounds true, but I feel like Gaijin is gonna experience some sort of plumber's crack. And as far as I'm concerned, within that plumber's crack, there's gonna be a leak in regards to some way to make it more worse, to rig the game even more, as far as I'm concerned, to ruin the player's experience. But then again, I don't really know. We'll have to wait as soon as time goes by, just to find out sooner or later. But with that being said, my name is Shadow01. Hopefully you do find this video helpful, or if not, let me know. And with that being said, leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe if you wish. And with that being said as well, I shall see you on the next episode. Peace out.